Hi, I'm Tim Williams at Dwyer Williams Potter Injury Accident Attorneys. I'm the lead litigation attorney for our firm. When people are injured, particularly with a shoulder injury, they may develop what's called adhesive capsulitis. And so I'm going to focus on the shoulder for the purpose of this video. The shoulder is a fairly complicated joint, and I think the model is going to help illustrate that. Here we see a model of the shoulder itself. This is your collarbone in the front. This would be your shoulder blade in the back. Your ribs are right here in front. And then this is your arm bone where it comes up and connects to the shoulder itself. And this is actually a cutaway view. Now there's a bunch of muscles, for example, your deltoid or the outside of your shoulder muscle that exists right here. There's some other muscles. Your trapezius connects to to this bone right here, and it comes up to your neck. There's other muscles, that connect and go down the front. So this is an inside view, and you can see that even the inside view, there's a lot of areas that are tight, not much room there. There's multiple muscles that essentially lie against each other and rub that way. And this sets you up for what's called adhesive capsulitis. So what is that? Well, if you're injured and you quit using your shoulder because of the injury, let's say the pain's so bad you're not using your shoulder, it's in a sling for an extended period of time, or for whatever reason you're not using your shoulder, the muscles where they actually rub against each other, they'll start to grow together. And that forms, it's a type of scar tissue. And they're called adhesions. That's what the doctors call them, adhesions. Capsulitis just means that it basically encapsulizes your shoulder itself, and so your joint becomes less mobile, even to the point where you can't move it at all. Now what the doctors do to treat this situation is they'll get you into a physical therapy program to try to keep your muscles loose and free-flowing and keep scar tissue at a minimum. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, let's say you don't get into the physical therapy program, or you're just not referred to one. You see this sometimes with coma patients because they're not using their shoulder. Then what the doctors will do is they'll actually perform a type of surgery where they go in, they anesthetize you, in other words, they put you to sleep, and they forcefully move your shoulder, so move your arm out, forward, backwards, up, to break all these adhesions up and actually rip apart the scar tissue that's formed in there. And then you're on a physical therapy program after that to continue the movement of your shoulder. So some of the problems in cases with adhesive capsulitis is that the insurance company, first and foremost, they always blame the patient. So they say that for example, if you're the one with the adhesive capsulitis, they'll say, well, it's your fault. You didn't maintain a physical therapy program. You didn't follow the doctor's orders in keeping your shoulder mobile, even though it hurt. So it's always the fault of the patient, which is unfortunate. The truth of the matter is sometimes there's not much you can do to prevent that, particularly where you have a ripping and tearing of the shoulder itself, and the shoulder is trying to actively heal. It just becomes so tight and painful that you really can't move it. And the doctors are great at addressing that, but it's not always perfect. So ultimately, some people with extensive shoulder injuries, they may require some sort of adhesive capsulitis surgery anyways. A lot of times people are none the wiser. They don't go see a doctor right away. They keep their shoulder passive. In other words, they're not going to move it, maybe in a sling. And they don't realize that could cause problems down the line. So it's not always, in fact, it's rarely the patient's fault. But insurance companies are quick to point the finger, they're quick to deny the claim, and that's where a lawyer becomes very important.